In the shadowy realm of North Korea, a land shrouded in secrecy and fear, the rules of one man govern all. Kim Jong-un, the enigmatic leader, presides over a nation where every aspect of life is meticulously controlled. Today we embark on a journey to uncover the 10 scariest rules under his regime, a journey that will reveal the dark secrets of this isolated country. From the strict expectations placed upon his wife to the harsh punishments meted out to his own family members, the rules of Kim Jong-un are as chilling as they are absolute. This is not merely a tale of power, but one of control where loyalty is demanded and dissent is met with brutal consequences. Join me as we delve into the heart of North Korea, a place where every citizen's life is dictated by the whims of their supreme leader. As we explore these 10 terrifying rules, we will gain a glimpse into the daily lives of North Koreans, a people living under a regime that leaves no room for deviation. With each rule, we will peel back another layer of this enigmatic nation, revealing a world that few outsiders have ever seen. Prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown, where the truth is more unsettling than fiction. In the tightly controlled world of North Korea, Ri Sol-ju, Kim Jong-un's wife, occupies a position of both privilege and peril. Her life is governed by a set of stringent rules designed to maintain the image of the perfect First Lady. Every public appearance is meticulously orchestrated. Her attire, demeanor, and even her expressions are scrutinized to ensure they align with the regime's ideals. The pressure to embody the perfect woman is immense, and any deviation could have severe consequences. The expectations placed on Ri Sol-ju extend beyond the public eye. She must always display unwavering loyalty and support to her husband, reinforcing the image of a united, harmonious leadership. Behind closed doors, she must navigate a world of political intrigue and power struggles, all while maintaining an impeccable facade. The role of the First Lady in North Korea is not just a ceremonial position, it is a carefully crafted part of the regime's propaganda machine. The strict rules governing Ri Sol-ju's life are a reflection of the broader control exerted over North Korean women. From a young age, girls are taught to emulate the First Lady, to aspire to her level of perfection. This societal pressure creates an environment where individuality is suppressed and conformity is enforced. The idealized image of Ri Sol-ju serves as both a goal and a warning to the women of North Korea. The shadow of Kim Jong-il looms large over North Korea even years after his death. The rules and traditions he established continue to influence the nation under Kim Jong-un. Known for his iron-fisted control and cult of personality, his legacy is perpetuated by his son. Citizens are still expected to revere Kim Jong-il as an eternal leader. One notable rule is juche, or self-reliance, demanding absolute devotion to the state. Today, Kim Jong-un enforces juche to justify isolationist policies and maintain control. In the treacherous world of North Korean politics, loyalty to Kim Jong-un is paramount, and even the slightest suspicion of disloyalty can lead to severe consequences. This was the grim fate of Jang Song-thaek, Kim Jong-un's own uncle, who once held a position of significant power within the regime. His downfall serves as a chilling example of the brutal methods Kim Jong-un employs to maintain control and eliminate perceived threats. Jang Song-thaek was considered one of the most powerful figures in North Korea, often seen as a mentor to Kim Jong-un during his early years in power. However, in 2013 he was suddenly arrested, accused of plotting to overthrow the government and publicly denounced as a traitor. The charges against him included corruption, womanizing, and drug use. But the true reason for his downfall was likely his growing influence and the threat it posed to Kim Jong-un's authority. The punishment for Jang Song-thaek was swift and brutal. He was executed in a manner designed to serve as a stark warning to others within the regime. Reports suggest that he was killed by anti-aircraft gunfire, a method chosen for its sheer brutality and to demonstrate Kim Jong-un's absolute power. The execution was widely publicized, with state media broadcasting images of Jang's arrest and condemning him as worse than a dog. Chapter 4: Cultural Conformity. In North Korea, culture is not merely a reflection of society, but a tool of control, wielded by the regime to shape the beliefs and behaviors of its citizens. The cultural rules imposed by Kim Jong-un are designed to enforce conformity and ensure that every aspect of life aligns with the state's ideology. From art and literature to music and fashion, every cultural expression is carefully monitored and regulated. One of the most striking examples of cultural control is the regime's strict dress code. Citizens are required to adhere to specific guidelines regarding their appearance, with hairstyles and clothing styles dictated by the state. Men are encouraged to adopt the Kim Jong-un hairstyle, while women are expected to dress modestly and conservatively. These rules are enforced through regular inspections, and violations can result in public shaming or even imprisonment. The regime also exerts control over the arts, using them as a means of propaganda. Artists, writers, and musicians are required to produce works that glorify the state and its leaders. Any form of artistic expression that deviates from the official narrative is heavily censored, and those who attempt to create or distribute unauthorized works face severe punishment. This stifling environment leaves little room for creativity or individual expression, as all cultural output must serve the regime's purposes. Chapter 5. The iron grip on information. In North Korea, the flow of information is tightly controlled by the regime, ensuring ignorance and submission. Kim Jong-un's government employs a vast system of censorship to maintain its iron grip on media. This control extends to newspapers, television, the internet, and personal conversations. State-run media is the primary source of information, serving as a mouthpiece for propaganda. News broadcasts and radio programs glorify the Kim dynasty's achievements. Any critical information is strictly censored. Journalists operate under constant surveillance, facing severe punishment for deviations. Access to the internet is heavily restricted, with only high-ranking officials allowed limited access. Most North Koreans are confined to the state-controlled intranet filled with propaganda. The regime prevents the smuggling of foreign media into the country. Chapter 6. The Prison of Isolation. In the hermit kingdom of North Korea, the freedom to travel is a luxury that few can afford. The regime imposes severe restrictions on movement, both within the country and across its borders, effectively turning the nation into a prison for its citizens. Kim Jong-un's government goes to great lengths to ensure that the populace remains isolated, preventing them from experiencing the outside world and exposing them to alternative perspectives. Travel within North Korea is heavily regulated, with citizens required to obtain permits for any journey beyond their local area. These permits are difficult to obtain and are often granted only for essential purposes such as work or family emergencies. The regime closely monitors the movement of its people, with checkpoints and surveillance ensuring that unauthorized travel is quickly detected and punished. This system of control keeps the population confined to their designated areas, limiting their interactions and preventing the spread of dissenting ideas. Crossing the border into or out of North Korea is even more tightly controlled. The regime views any attempt to leave the country as an act of treason, punishable by imprisonment or execution. Those who manage to escape often do so at great personal risk, facing dangerous terrain, harsh weather conditions, and the constant threat of capture. The regime's border guards are tasked with preventing defections, and they are authorized to use lethal force against those attempting to flee. Chapter 7. Public Behavior under Watch. In North Korea, the regime's control extends to every aspect of public behavior, with strict rules governing how citizens must conduct themselves in public. These rules are designed to enforce loyalty and submission, ensuring that any display of dissent or nonconformity is swiftly identified and punished. Kim Jong-un's government maintains a constant watch over the populace, creating an environment where every action is scrutinized and every word is monitored. Public behavior in North Korea is dictated by a rigid set of guidelines that citizens are expected to follow without question. This includes everything from how they dress and speak to how they interact with others. Displays of individuality or nonconformity are discouraged, as the regime seeks to create a homogeneous society where everyone adheres to the same standards. Any deviation from these guidelines is met with public shaming or punishment, reinforcing the importance of compliance. One of the most visible aspects of the regime's control over public behavior is the requirement for citizens to participate in state-organized events and demonstrations. These events, often held to celebrate the achievements of the Kim dynasty or to mark significant national holidays, are mandatory for all citizens.